Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Hope you all are doing well. Welcome to today's analysis on cryptocurrency markets inside Halal Portfolio channel or X account. I hope everything is going well with you, especially if you are positioned well in the market, you should be in a lot of profit. So let's go and take a look at how things are. I'm going to share my screen right away. Okay, so as we talked previously in the last video, we were here and Bitcoin was supposed to break this level, and we were looking at the daily candle close to confirm if we're going to break this level. So as you can see, we had a proper breakout, and this 12 to $13,000 level was reclaimed. And this is a beautiful proper breakout. Now, after that, for the people that wanted to enter again, I gave another signal right at this price. I even made a drawing like this, so they would know that we're going to reach this level and how they can position themselves inside the community. So if you want to be part of our community, feel free to join. The link is in the description. Okay. So now we had a very great move inside Bitcoin. And as you can see, we have reached the level of supply. If you remember, we previously twice took profits and sold these levels, even thrice. You can see twice just here, once here. So it's like 3 times we have already taken profits. Now, we need to be very careful. Although everything is looking super good, and we are on October, there could be a potential retest or a pullback in the market. We need to find that out. And as you can see, we have a bullish engulfing candle here that closed right in the supply zone. Now, before I tell you what's going to happen here, we're going to take a look at all the other major currencies and see the overall view of the market. Then we can come and decide if the market is going to go up from here, or is there going to be a retest, and where should we be potentially looking at. Let's go and take a look at US dollar index. So you can see before reaching this level, we were perfectly rejected from the zone of supply that I have mentioned to you before. But we were also waiting if we are going to get a better entry on our crypto, which we didn't, but we were properly positioned right here. And I kept telling that as long as the market stays, for example, for Bitcoin, it was about above 109,000 and 107,000. For Ethereum, it was 309,000. So as long as we keep this level, it's good for crypto. You can keep positioning yourself. That was uh, the system at that time and how we were going to trade it. Now, you can see that it has already come down. Although there was this resistance that is being broken. Now, if we take a look at, we have a level of demand right here that before actually getting too bullish in the market, we need to take a look at this, that if this is going to be broken or not, which might come in effect in around 1 or 2 days. So keep your eyes on this chart. If this goes below, then it's good for crypto as well. US dollar is dying, which is a good thing. Now, if we come and see US dollar against Canadian dollar, it is also in the level of supply, which is a very good supply and a major level. It's a key level. Unless it's taken out, we cannot say that US dollar is going to go up against Canadian dollar. And it's also a good indicator to see the weakness of US dollar, as we always do. So whenever it's in a supply zone, what does it mean? It means that it is going to be weakened and there's a potential dump coming for this, which is also a good thing. Now, on the other hand, we had USDT dominance. So in USDT dominance, we had like 3 scenarios. One was the breakout of this, which you can see it happened. And this supply zone, I mentioned that even from here, that there is a potential room for this to go to this level of supply, which it reached. Now, we wanted an immediate break below it, otherwise we could have come back to this level, right? Now we got an immediate breakout, which is a very good thing. But there is a catch. Let's go and take a look at that. So you can see that we're still in the daily chart. And on the daily, I remember we got a couple of times rejected from these places again and again and again, okay? Does it mean that it's going to happen again? Sure. So you can see that there is a support level here. You can put it like this. You can put it like this. Doesn't really matter, but if we take all of it, there's no need to put something not so accurate like that as a line. So this is a level of support, but as a whole, as a level of demand, if we come and see it even in lower time frame, you can see that we had some indecision candles that led to breakout from this level inside USDT dominance. So this is a good thing, okay? This is a good thing. This is also a good thing that we fell below this resistance again. It means that the market is bullish. But how are we going to find out that if there's going to be a pullback? So we need to take profits or reposition ourselves back in the market when the price reaches there. So this is a good indicator for that to find. This is the exact level of demand. Okay, let me mark it down for you and for myself so we remember. So this is a level of demand that you can see that it's already touching it and it's getting rejected from, but it hasn't fully dipped in it. So it could be today, it could be tomorrow, that we might do a dip like this, then come test this level, then continue going back down. So let's remove all of these because it has already happened. Now, what are we going to look forward to is this level, okay? Something like this is quite a possibility for the market. Why did I did this? Is because there could be a possible consolidation because of these two uh, resistances. There's this demand and there's the support. So there could be a possible consolidation before a major breakout. So where are you going to position yourself if you see a pullback coming right here? Where could you be taking profits? Right around this zone. You can start taking profits and wait for the market to do what it needs to be done. Now this is just USDT, okay? Let's go through everything else, then in the end decide to what exactly we need to do, okay? Okay, total. You can see this beauty that has happened. Perfect, right? Now let's clear this so we can see everything clearly. Let's come to the weekly. What did I tell you before? This is a proper breakout and retest, and you can see that the market again reacted from that place. So if we are in the weekly, as this has it broken this line yet? No. Could it come back to this level? Of course it can. Could it break this level? Yes. So when it does, we will position ourselves like that. Now, if we come to daily, we can see this, that there is a level of demand and lower time frame, which is here. So if we want to position ourselves back in the market the same way that we did around these prices, we would wait here today. If this is broken, then there could be a potential retest before going up. So this is all-time high. You should know that there's a lot of liquidity lying here as well. And what the market could do is Another scenario, this is one of the scenarios, okay? Another scenario, go up here, make everybody super bullish, come back, test this zone, then continue from here. So keep in mind that the people that they bought these levels, they would sell and take profit in these levels. Then once the market comes back down, they will position themselves like this. Okay. So this is how it's going to be looking like. Uh, what could be another scenario, just in case everything is super bullish? You can see that we're already in this much profit. So this is total. I'm not saying that we bought total. Obviously, we didn't. 9.74%. Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the cryptos, they moved somewhere around these percentages. So it's good to take profits. Can you get another level? Of course you can. The market keeps going up in a structure. Take a look at all these times that we did take profit. If we hadn't, then all this time we would be just waiting for a breakout to happen. So the long-term perspective is one thing. For the short term, if you want to be trading, so these are the levels that you need to take profit. Okay, so this is also indicating that we need to take profit. And another one, which is total 2, that came to this level of ours, then slowly climbed back up, and you can see that it's also reaching a level of supply. Let's clear this as well, put back our fresh support and resistance levels so we can see exactly what the market is going to do. There's a level of supply right here. I don't want to take these. It doesn't matter. If you connect them, they're both same. So you can see that it's already reaching the level of supply, which is, except Bitcoin, it includes Ethereum. So once I go in the Ethereum chart, you will understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. So if we're going to take profit in this level of supply, where could we be off loading back, like buying back in the market? Um, let's go in the 4 hour. You can see that there is a level of demand here, and there is a level of demand here that we could be buying back once it reaches fully here, or right around these prices. It could come back either one of these levels, then would try to go back up. Okay, so if we then take from the support and resistance level, we can just come back, test here. If there is a proper rejection from these top levels, but if we just get a normal pullback, we will see the structure would show us that if we would be bouncing from these levels or we would come back to this level. Very easy. So wait for today, see if there's a breakout here. If not, then there's a potential downward movement. Another scenario, it could come here, then fall back to these levels, then do something like this. Quite possible. So we need to be ready for both scenarios. I'm gonna leave it with with this. Okay. This is how I see it. We're reaching the level of resistance. Although there is a lot of good news, but I have told you before, if you keep concentrating in the news, you will lose, because news is there to manipulate every single person. If you're smart, you would know uh, that there are things that needs to be done. Okay, so you can see that we also have a monthly candle, like I mentioned in Bitcoin, that is a good bullish candle, but this is not broken yet. Even on monthly, it's not broken. On weekly, it's not broken. I need a proper breakout here before I turn super bullish and say that, oh, the market is going to the skies. It's a very key level on total tree. So it will affect all your smaller cap coins and altcoins. This cannot be seen, so I can maybe just bring a line and put it here. So there's these wicks you can take a look at. You can see that we are reaching this level of supply, but as a whole, it's a very key resistance level that can push back the market. If Bitcoin and Ethereum come for a small retest, these will lose the majority of their gains back to the same level, then push toward the upside is one of the possibilities. Another possibility is we would break this level. So depending on how these candles are going to close, we will take our decisions. Then this is another scenario that once we break this level, we're going to position ourselves according to that. There should be a proper breakout and retest in order for us to do that. Otherwise, for the long term, for everything else, market is good. For the short term, because we're trading, we need to be very, very careful with all these levels. I keep repeating it because I know there are beginners that are watching these videos, so they can also learn from these levels of supply and demand. If you are a beginner and you want to learn fully from the absolute beginning, technical analysis, well order flow strategy, the way that the whales does, and they always stay in profit, join Halal Portfolio from the link below in the description. It's just $33 a month, and you will gain, inshallah, so much that you will love it. Okay, so let's see a Bitcoin dominance. You can see that I kept mentioning this, that if we don't fully close below these levels, there could be a potential upward movement for Bitcoin dominance, because you can see that it couldn't go below these levels. And I mentioned right in the previous video that if this zone is reclaimed, there could be a retest and it could go up. But according to everything else, it might not actually work like that. So let me show you something else. You can see that we have a level of supply here on the daily, just on the daily, which could affect the entire market. And there is a level of support that was broken and turned to resistance. So if we take this and take this as well, you can see that it's trying to get rejected from these. But unless it closes below this level, it could still come to any of these levels, then we can push back. So what it would mean, it confirms the pullback that I'm expecting in the market before actually going up higher, because there's a lot of people right now joining in the market which they sold at lower levels. Unfortunately, that's how the majority of the people's mindset work. So there could be something like this, then we would continue going back down. So keep in mind, this is still a possibility. But if we go and close below and you would see something like this, then obviously it's that alt season, which will again confirm that this scenario would happen in total. We would go and take a look at Bitcoin as well now. Okay, now finally we're back in Bitcoin. You can see that Bitcoin is struggling at this level of supply. What I'm expecting is that in a lower time frame, in 4 hour, if we go, we can see that this level of resistance, if we come and take in the line chart these levels and put a line here and put a line right here, this shows that there is a breakout, okay? But it's just in 4 hour. Keep in mind, if we come back on daily and see it this way, what does it mean for us? Although it looks like a breakout, there could be a potential retest right at these levels. If we don't lose it, then the market would go like this. One thing. If we lose it and there's a retest, because after losing there would be a proper retest, then there would be a dump, bringing us back to this level of demand that we just recently reclaimed, which is from 12 to $13,000. Now, I asked the question in the community that is this a breakout candle? Okay. So a breakout candle should be higher than this level of supply that we have. Let me show you in another chart. Tell me here, because I told you exactly here that the market is going to dump. Is this a breakout candle? No. Why? Because a breakout candle is something like this, fully taken over all these resistances, then it would try to go up. But you can see that although it has taken over these two, it hasn't taken over these two last liquidity wicks. So I put a line here and I showed it in the community chat. Let me if I can bring it and show you guys what I really mean. You can't see it. Let me share it. Okay. A question to you all, is this a breakout candle? Because a lot of people would come and start buying here thinking that we would go up. But bro, do you really see any breakout here? A breakout should have been something like this. Then once it's confirmed and touched this level, then it's a breakout candle. Exactly like this. You can see that once it made a breakout, it did a small retest, then it went up. So the retest could be here in this resistance or in this zone, anywhere, but it should be proper. Now, since that hasn't happened, okay, what I want is that I would take profit here if I were you, okay? Then reposition myself back if it holds this level in the upcoming days. If not, it would come back to this level, then it will go higher, bro. I have more evidence. You saw USDT reaching this level of demand. You saw Dixie reaching this level of demand. You saw total not being able to break. You saw total 2. You saw total 3. Now, that's how it's looking like exactly in this chart for Bitcoin. Even if I take profit here and if it goes up, even if it goes here, it would still try to come to find a level of demand either in this zone or lower, because a lot of people would take profit like they did here and here and here and here and here. Everything shows as an evidence for me. Again, this is not for the long term, but if you're trading, if you want to get good at trading, you need to take profit. Wait for the market to come down, then reposition yourself. Or let the market do the breakout, then let it come down, then reposition yourself. Unless you keep watching every single move of Bitcoin and go in the lower time frame so it can confirm you what it might do. So this is why I put these lines in order for me to know exactly what I need to do. So this is the last place it could go for me to hold, which is 117,000. If we lose, then obviously 113,000 will be the place for me to accumulate. If not, 190,000 and 118,000 exactly here was the TP level. So despite, however, is the market looking at the moment, I would tell you that here is sell. So I put this so you know that it is a short-term sell coming. If there would be a proper dump, then you would see it, and the mark, and here would be the place that you would need to load up again. Okay. Anyway, let's quickly go through Ethereum. You can see, brother, that we had such a great move. This is not actually here, this is here. So you would know. Do the adjustment because it was on my phone, it wouldn't actually show what we did. Okay, let me introduce you back to Ethereum. This was the level that I said that we haven't lost it, and I am buying this level. You can see a proper beautiful move of up until 13-14%. What I did was, after we reached here, like up to 9%, I told everybody that I see something like this forming in the market. This. Okay? And you can see it happened very nicely. Beautiful. And we had a breakout here, but we didn't break here. That's why it came down. Then we loaded up here. We had a breakout. Just like the trend that it needs to go. Now we had a breakout. What should it do? This. Down here, then we go up. This was the level that previously I talked about, and we had 1% stop loss here. Do you remember? But we did went to profit, and I told you to exit. Only I was stuck here, which is fine. Now you can see that we reached back. We reached. Okay, let me clarify. I was stuck with just 30%. I exited 70% of my trade because that's what I needed to do. We had a proper fall. Now this zone has turned into supply. Why am I telling you all these? Because nobody exactly knows what happened, but there was a lot of people bullish here, which I wasn't. And we had only 1% stop loss if we were to hold this level. But look at the percentage that we got by trading all these. And again, now we are in so much profit. Now, this box is the place that I would be taking profit and wait for it to come down either here or lower to 4,000. Then it will go up. Or let it go above this, do the breakout, then retest, then load up here. So if you want to load up, you need to know where you want to load. And if you want to take profit, you would know where you want to be taking your profits. You can see 4,480 to 4,500 is the level for Ethereum, and buying back is 4,250 or $4,000 levels. In short, ETH BTC, although it is in this and it's trying to show that it's has reclaimed, but you can see that we made a level of demand here. In case the market comes down and we don't see a breakout above this, and Ethereum doesn't break this zone, it would come back here, confirming these two levels. That's all. Solana. So for Solana, it's quite a different thing now. We had a lot bigger dumps here, but we kept holding because my entry was here at 210. Now, I am again in profit, but I'm not going to exit Solana anytime soon. I would let it run because it has a proper breakout. This is a breakout on Solana, and the retest is also happened with a small wick here. Just in case everything comes down, Solana would try to consolidate and keep this level and maybe do this market structure, but not go down a lot as long as we are above $215 levels. Okay, this would be the target. Let me remove these as well. They're irrelevant at the moment and give you a clearer view. What happened to this? Why did it get removed? I didn't remove this. Anyway, for some reason, this is removed. Let's put it back. Okay, so this is still a resistance. We had a bullish engulfing. In order for you to load back on Solana, if you really want to load, you can load around $210 to $203, which is this newly formed demand level, which we can just remove these levels now and have it something like this. So the market is much cleaner. One of these are important just to show us where could be our TP levels. So I see another level of supply in daily for Solana around $237. If it just moves insane today or tomorrow, these are the levels that you would be taking profits. Until 244 and 250. Like this whole box here. Okay, but in order to load again, you would want to load into something like this because of this demand level. Okay, Sol BTC is very good. That's why it is giving us this sign. You can see that now the bull run is for Solana, which everything else will struggle breaking their levels, but Solana, inshallah, it will move in speed higher, maybe even not stop in any of those resistances that I showed you. So Sol BTC is very good. Solana Ethereum is trying to go above this. It's going to be so good once we cross this. You're gonna see speed and Solana and greater move. Wow. Dogecoin against USD. Perfect. Perfect. You guys were wondering why I kept buying these two levels. This is why. Now we would go back up because Doge is still so much undervalued. We would see these levels quite soon. So just let me tell you before where are we going to go so you are prepared for those levels. There is a level of supply here around 32 to 33. Everything else, I think we have it all covered. Okay, and lower time frames. For now, you would not want to load up here. You need to cross this first. You can look for these two triggers on Doge. One, another one is back to this level. Something like this. Then you're good. That's all. Simple? No, not simple at all. Doge BTC, what did I tell you? It is on this level of demand. It would shoot up. It looks like it's again those times that all these meme coins are going to explode. But the ones that is halal, according to a lot of scholars, is Doge. You need to be in Doge. It has a lot of use cases. It has proper mining. It has proper usability and it's cheap for transferring and doing so many things. Doge is a good thing. You can invest in Doge. Other than that, Wallahu A'lam. Doge Ethereum, perfect. Here, bro. I told you that it's on the level of demand, both of these. You should have been loading here. Okay, a lot of people that I'm really happy to see in the community that there are people that they listen, but you know that the majority of people they always come late. Okay, so this is gold against BTC. Let me put this back so you know what we did. I told you that BTC would start outperforming Bitcoin when we reach here because this is a level of supply for gold against BTC. So when gold starts falling, BTC would outperform. It doesn't mean that gold could come in its own chart. It just simply means that Bitcoin will outperform it. So you can see how quickly we went back from 107 to 119, 9% up, while gold is struggling and went up how much? Let me just see how many days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In 6 days, in a week or so, gold came from here to here, moved 3%. Bitcoin moved 9%. So when Bitcoin moves, it moves nicely, which is a good thing. I'm happy for gold to go other than Dixie, but I'm more happy if Bitcoin succeeds. And I would be much more happier if all the crypto succeeds because obviously we'll become so much richer. Alhamdulillah. Okay. Here, I found another chart for you just in case you didn't know what we did. But you can see that Ethereum is reaching this level of supply. That's all I had to say for you guys. So the two things that we could hold and take profit overall is Solana. Okay, we can take profit in all of them. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Doge. But Solana and Doge might just outperform if Bitcoin and Ethereum closes bullish today and breaks their near resistance and supply levels, which is always a possibility in the bull run. But there's always a possibility of coming back to levels of demand. So if you want to load up more, you can load in those levels. If you haven't bought, you can wait for those levels. If you still haven't bought, you don't have to buy at this level. Let the breakout happen, and once the market comes back down, then you can load up there. Now, if you want to get all of this just as charts or like signals, because we share Bitcoin and sometimes Ethereum as well, free for the public, you can join our community. But if you want to take all of it, our entire halal portfolio, and which coins we're holding, you can pay $33 a month, get the course, become a student, learn everything, then do everything responsibly. Still not a financial advice. Inshallah, I will see you in the next coming days. Have a good day.